Okay, Rick has just dropped out. Let me share the background screen if I could. Hopefully he'll return in momentarily.
Mark, it's Dean here. It was interesting how when Rick, the video stopped with Rick, and it stopped on when it was mentioned the universe. Stopped at a very precise moment. So hopefully Rick will be back soon. Do you have anything else to show at the moment, Mark, that we can put it forward?
Well, I think we can, usually we start with this. We usually start with this screen, I believe, or he does have a short video he plays in between. We have an announcement. We want to welcome everyone to the One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace. Rick Crammond is your host, and we are all trying to fill his shoes together. I know Dean will add to the hosting, and I think we have Elias here as well. So as Rick said, we have plenty of backup hosts. It is December 20th, 2022. And we just want to welcome you all to the One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace. This is normally the first slide, and Dean, would you like to read it?
Yeah, sure. I go ahead, Mark. Okay, so this is the One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace. Through the beauty of the soul of diversity of the languages spoken on planet Earth, all souls are as equal and all are as creators, as they are created in the image of the Creator. So each and every one of us has this creation point that emanates through our very soul, which is part of our being present in these moments. And each one of us has an understanding of this. Many of us experience this in many moments throughout our existence as a human being. We have this, some say it's a voice, some have a just a knowing within inside themselves that they are part of something much much more than just this belief that we have of our surroundings, our environment sometimes. And we've come to understand through the One Planet, One Nation, One Race, through these experiences and these teachings being brought forward, that we are indeed part of a much bigger picture. Because in the soul of the man lies the Creator, and we're part of it. It's all around us, it's within us, outside of us, in every aspect of our lives. So when we take our physical body and we interact with our thoughts, intentions, by speaking, listening, communicating, through our actions, with our thoughts and our words. And so we come to understand that our thoughts initiate the words. The words formulate into a sentence that we then use to communicate. The thought has a field strength that shines forth and becomes an interaction in this moment that you can sense and feel with all your senses. The thought, the intention, travels vast distances from one being, one soul to another. And as we're all part of this, and we're all part of the totality, we have this creation within us, we all experience these field strengths, these interactions, these field interactions in each and every moment. So as I think about, or I give to another, so if I think of another person, another being, another soul present anywhere on the planet, I can give them energy. I can give them a warm thought, a loving intention. And that field strength carries across and touches the soul of the man, that interacts in the environment and then brings forward a condition of beauty into the physicality. And this interaction is happening and ongoing constantly with each and every single one of us. So every single thought, word, and intention we have escalates, grows, becomes more as the interactions touch other interactions, intermingle, become part of each other. So we have a responsibility, now we know this, to act, think, and speak good to one another. And then when we start to do this, as we have been doing this, the Universal Council and many of the knowledge seekers do this constantly. They communicate with their thoughts and intentions across the planet and further on, because the field strength that we have, that we gather, doesn't just stop. There's no borders. There's no borders around the planet Earth. So our thoughts and actions and deeds, words, they drift on out. They go further than just stopping at a border. They continue on. And we all communicate like this. So we're already part of a much bigger totality. As Mr. Keshe said many times, I made man in the image of myself. That's you. And we're all part of this. We all have the same wonderful interactions with each other, with our thoughts and intentions in each and every moment. And it is a beauty. We are all creators, and we're all made in the image of the Creator. So thank you for being present in this very moment. And it's always a wonderful opportunity to come forward, to speak to others with an ethos that gives an understanding in this moment for each and every single one of us to be an inspiration for each other, to be inspiring, to give and to love, and to bring forward a wonderful reality that is present within inside our thoughts and intentions, that transpires and becomes everything that we would need it to be to fulfill our wonderful creation in this precise moment. So thank you all for being present. It's an honor to be present with you. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Dean. And if this was a couple months down the road, I think we'll be able to send Rick an energy package. No more generators. He'll have the energy he needs to power up whatever he needs, as we know what's coming with this coverage in so many ways. I think I'll go to the next slide if I can. And these are wishes that the Universal Council is creating. We're not really physically rolling up our sleeves anymore to go out and change things as we've been accustomed to doing. We're actually working through the energies of the soul now to bring the change. And again, the souls are all connected, so the point of contact is instantaneous. And this is the way the Universal Council is learning to work. All of us are learning to work through these energies as we're seeing what can be delivered plasmatically in the way of travel, in the way of communication, in the way of energy, in the way of wellness, and in the way of nutrition. Would someone like to read the wish?
Hello, my dear Mark. You can read the wish with your beautiful voice. You are so welcome.
Okay.
Thank you, Dean. Thank you so much.
We, the Universal Council, give from our souls for humanity to mature into the peace, the love, the care, and become the messengers of the universe to enlighten the souls of the unicos from the point of birth to the love of the Creator and the creation. Hear our command. And this is the way the Universal Council will start to work through the energies of the soul, expansion of the soul, and projecting those energies to wherever they are needed for the change, for humanity, for the collection of humanity to move forward and to bring the peace, finding peace within ourselves, and then expanding that to the larger community of humanity and all the inhabitants of the creation, let's say. Okay.
We are
anyone
present.
else? Yes.
Yeah.
Anyone else want to add anything? Again, usually we don't add to the wishes, but you may want to make a comment on it, as they are complete within themselves.
Yes, hello, this is Marie Jussi in Norwegian. You can hear me? It's a little windy here.
Yes, we can.
So this wish is inspired by the very beautiful teaching 462nd, which I recommend everyone to listen to many, many times, where Mr. Keshe is explaining the whole creation and points out that humanity is the messengers, or we will become the messengers of the universe to bring this message of creation and the creator out to every soul. And he also says something very beautiful, that this about love, because okay, love is unconditional giving. We all know that as knowledge seekers. But there is a special field strength and a special way of loving, I think. This is my interpretation of it. How we love on planet Earth. So we have something that we need to share with the others and teach them this loving, caring, and the peace. Maybe we don't have the peace yet, but it will come. So that's what we're striving for, to become peaceful within and be peaceful with every soul in the environment. So I just wanted to say that where this is inspired from, and that it's for everyone to listen to the 462nd Knowledge Seekers Workshop and the teaching of Mr. Keshe there. Thank you.
Yes, isn't it interesting that man has been considered by the universal community as insignificant dust, as we're just in this corner of the small speck of dust in the corner of the universe. But now Mr. Keshe says man is going to become a very significant dust. As you said, Marie, this knowledge is going to be dispersed across the universe from this planet. The knowledge that the Keshe Foundation is teaching to the creation. And it's not only for man, it's for all souls. across the universe. So man is going to play a very significant role in the upcoming period, I believe.
And to everyone, that humanity is not only the humans, it's every soul on planet Earth. So it's also the animals. So when this elevation with the cosmic rays comes, and they are probably ongoing all the time, then everyone is elevated. The fishes in the oceans, the animals in the wilderness, the stones, they also have souls, and they are connected to the earth. So we will all be elevated. So it will be, I don't have a word for it, but it will be beautiful.
Yes, instead of killing and eating each other, we're going to be elevating the rest of the creation in so many ways. Our current model is killing and eating other entities to sustain our own, but that ethos is changing little by little as we're seeing through these packages until we learn to do it ourselves for nutrition, for wellness, for communication, for travel, and for energy, and for space travel, and so on, all through the
Yes.
fields, much less in the matter state.
Amazing.
Shweta, you usually say when
Thank you,
you're ready
Martin,
to
really.
go to the next slide. But anyone can comment
You
here.
can, Mark.
Okay,
Yes.
we'll do that. A clock tower.
Yes, and that's my part. So hello, everyone, dear souls in, on, and beyond Earth. I also would like to welcome you as a UC member for the Dutch language to this One Nation, One Planet, One Race. And my topic is new time. When we had last Friday the meeting, in a way, a new time started. Until now, we lived in the time after Christ, as we call it. And now we started a new phase for mankind. Collectively, as a group, we were connected to our messengers, to each other. And according to our beliefs and the love of our Creator, we're also connected to the Creator, Mitra, and the child of Mitra. Now, what does this mean for us as souls on planet Earth? We have to learn and realize in the coming time what will come, what changes this will bring to us. What came clear to me is that the time we started now is the time of creation. We will find the creation inside of us because our soul is the creator part. When I woke up the day before yesterday, you know, this you're awake, but you're not awake, you're somewhere in between. I had a feeling I was in a group of souls, and this group was rolling out solutions to feed all souls in existence on Earth. And it was a beautiful feeling to see what this will bring if there is no need anymore for hunting and killing. Mr. Keshe is taking us as a total to this new level of understanding. And if we go and think 2-3 steps ahead, we realize what this will bring to humanity. We as souls, we become 100% free. Free to choose, free to be wherever we want, and free to serve. Now, the question is, what are you what are we going to do with this freedom? Later on, we will share about the commandments, why they were given and why they are so important for us to understand. Mr. Keshe is taking us to these new dimensions as a teacher. He shows us how to drive the car in the right way. He's still sitting beside us because we still do not have a fully control on this new vehicle. But soon, my dear souls, we will know how to handle the traffic, the rules, and the destinations we're driving to. So last Friday was a taste of what is to come in the very near future. And I ask you all kindly to stay open for what is here now. The changes we as souls and souls of physicality and physicality, we have to go through to expand and to elevate. So let's enjoy the ride and the reunion with our cosmic family. I'm here to serve.
Thank you, my dear Jacko. Thank you so much. This is a soul journey from yawns. Now we understood. We are here to serve, not to be served. So beautifully you said. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Dean. So beautiful. What can I say? These words sometimes don't explain everything. So the soul journey is here with the essence of all that is. And I will say that is love. The experience of love we have all the way. To give, and to give. So here is the beauty of the soul, a little beauty explained by Jacko. And now, anybody wants to say anything? Any beautiful souls? You are so welcome.
Sweater, it's Dean here.
Yes.
So hi. So Jacko, if you're still present, it'd be nice to discuss this. You have a clock here,
Yes.
this wonderful old clock, and it seems to be, is it 11 o'clock that it's showing, or is it 12 o'clock? I think it's 11, isn't it?
Probably it is, yes. Not yet 12.
Not yet 12, no. And it's in this wonderful old wooden building, and it has this big pendulum and everything. So is there any significance to this particular building, this particular clock? Does it what does it represent in what you've brought forward?
For me, it's a symbol. Normally you have a little clock, or the time is running for little clocks and big clocks the same. But this point we are now is a big step for humanity, because it will change our time counting. And although all the clocks are running the same, sometimes in history of the man, in history of the earth, there are certain points where big changes happen. And the reason why I took this picture is because this is a big clock. And the steps we're doing are also big this time. The building itself, it looks like the Black Forest. They have a lot of clocks there. Is their speciality. And for us, I think it is the important thing that we understand what is going on. In the first slide we saw, there was the diversity. We all together have our talents. And as a group, the talent goes beyond the sum of all the talents together. As souls, collectively, we cannot imagine what power is behind it and what peace we can reach on earth. In the session on Friday, Mr. Keshe was asking a wish. Everyone could do the wish. And these wishes, I'm 100% sure, those people who were there, they would not wish out of their ego. And the strength we have is in serving as a collective in this new time measurement. So that was the thought behind the picture.
Thank you, Jacko. I think I was present, and I know many of you were present in these experiences on the 16th. And I know the souls that were present. And Mr. Kesh has said that there were some very influential souls present. The soul of the Creator, soul of Mithra. There were many present in this moment, and the souls that represented it or came forward, became part and joined, were granted a wish. Each was granted a wish, and Mr. Kesh said that this wish will be granted. So with the souls that were present, you can imagine, you can understand the thoughts and intentions that went forward amongst everybody, amongst all the souls present on the planet and beyond. And there are countless numbers. And this wish for each soul that was present within this session was granted. That is a very big shift of consciousness for humanity in these present moments, in this moment. And if those wishes, if that wish has been granted, I know my wish, and this wish is taking place. It is present now. I've noticed a shift within the structure of some of the interactions I've seen going around the planet in these moments. I've come to understand the power, and it's not, that's the wrong word, the beauty of the souls that were present in bringing forward unconditional clarity and beauty to each and every single soul that has a physicality and is present here on this wonderful planet that we call planet Earth. So it's a giant leap forward for each and every one of us. And this field strength has been brought forward for each of us to expand upon and to be part of. So you can tap into it yourself, each and every one of you. So the thoughts and intentions, the wishes of many beings, many souls that have come forward, both from the universal community and souls present here on the planet, to bring about this shift of this loving condition for each and every one of us, so that we all receive the energies and the beauty that is part of the creation, the Creator. And it's brought forward in this very moment. And many of us, I can speak for myself here, but I'm sure many of us did experience something that touched the core aspect of our soul, enlightened us, elevated us, gave us a position to bring forward these wonderful wishes. I don't know the wishes, intentions of many of the souls that were made. However, as Jacko pointed out, the beautiful souls that were present, their intentions, their ethos is to serve and to give. And that is a prerequisite of joining the universal community. That is a condition that when we as humanity and we as souls of the Unicos bring this forward, understand the enormity of the ability of the soul, when we understand our true essence, what we really are capable of in this precise moment. And this has been gifted. As Mr. Kesh would say, you never turn down a gift. And this is a gift to humanity in these precise moments. And it may take a little while to filter through into the matter state. So this is given as a thought and intention, like from radiating out from a core, like a sun. And then this filtering, this field strength will gather momentum and filter down into the matter state, so that the conscious thought will be present in our physical forms, in the physical reality where we how we experience this in this moment. So I wish you all a beautiful interaction, and I thank you all for being present. And Jacko, thank you for that wonderful picture. I think it represents the moment that, as you said, it is a momentous shift, change, and it is right here in this moment, right now. We welcome all of you to be present with us and present with yourself, sharing and giving. And thank you for each and every beautiful soul that was present in this particular session and is present in this precise moment. Thank you, each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear Dean. Thank you so much beauty you expressed. And this is true. Our soul journey has started. And this is the time, the beautiful moments we are experiencing in a way or other. So thank you, my dear. Now we can go to the next page, my dear Mark. Yes, this is the moments of silence, my dear beautiful souls, for the elevation of souls to walk in the path of peace. So there will be 5 minutes of silence today. And as the elevation is always and going on and will be. And this 5 minutes of silence is for the elevation of the souls of the 5+1 peace negotiators, the souls of the IAEA, all souls working for peace in Vienna, the souls of humanity, the soul of humanity, the souls of the world leaders and religious leaders of planet Earth, and the souls of all of beauty and totality. So here our time starts now. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Marie. Thank you. Thank you, beautiful souls, for being present and in all the love always. So we can go to the next page, Mark.
Yes, and that is where we come to the commandments. As we see a way to reach the level of soul in the dimension of physicality. And in this sentence, in fact, everything is said. What can we do to reach the level of soul in the dimension of physicality? There's a wish that we can go through these commandments. We will do it one in a week. I hope that we can make a sharing. It should not be a one-way conversation. We can start. I prepared something, but I would really invite you to share what your feeling is. And we did it in the German group, and it was very, very wonderful to have all the parts, because this is not one soul or one part. This is the diversity of us learning how to behave and how to be in the right conditions to be ready for our soul dimension. So next slide, please.
Hello, here is Andreas. Is it only me? I cannot see the slides. I see the first slide.
I see there's two people trying to share the screen, myself and Rick. Do you want me to stop sharing, Rick?
This is Marie. I'm on a mobile phone and I can see the slide.
Okay.
Me too.
Yeah, I
Okay,
can see
good.
the slide too.
Okay, good. Thank you. Jacko, would you like to carry on?
Yes. So we do not do it chronological. I think it is good to take the commandments like what is discussed or what is
On a mobile phone and I can see the slide.
Okay.
Me too.
Yeah, I can see the slide too.
Okay, good. Thank you. Jacko, would you like to carry on?
That is a recording.
It sounds like something popped up there. I don't know where that came from. We're waiting to hear from Rick. I'll keep sharing the screen, but there are two people sharing the screen for some reason. That could cause a conflict.
Can you try to stop it that there is only one?
Okay, I will stop the share.
Rick?
Rick, can you move it forward a few slides? He may be tending his generator. Shall I go?
There's only one.
I'll stop the sharing.
Okay, I will stop the share. For some reason, okay, I'm going to share the
No.
screen. Forward a few slides.
No, you should carry on the sharing. I can't share right now.
Okay. So this is number 15. And the commandment says, thou shall be equal to others and do not consider thyself higher or lower than them. I think it is very, very important, because as soon as we go on both ways, higher or lower, there's a difference. And if we know where our soul comes from, from this single cosmic ray, then it absolutely makes no sense.
Yes, this is what I'm thinking. I think all souls are equal. We are all the manifestation of the Creator, so we are all special in a way, but we are equal in I don't know, value, but different in strength probably.
Right. And
Yes.
even as I used to read the holy books, at least in the Christian, where it says the God gave man dominion over all the creatures. And I thought, gee, I'm better than all the rest. But now we're learning a new way that actually all the souls are equal. Whether it's the ladybug in the tree and the human, all souls are equal. They may be at different levels, maybe simpler souls, but we know they all have the right to elevate. So this is where we're moving from man being a dominator to man being an elevator of the other souls in a way through this knowledge.
Exactly. And these commands help us to give this elevation of the soul. So back in the time, it was not understood, and people just took it to the physicality. And that is what is the big change since Mr. Cash started with the foundation, that we now are heading for the soul level. And I think this is one of the most important things. So why do we call them commandments? Why do we actually take decisions and live by a command? Because normally it should be clear that the soul is the one who is in lead. And we should be aware of this soul leading, but somehow we've lost ourselves in physicality. So that is what is coming to change now.
I just have a question. Since we're not supposed to be above or below, how do we look at being humble? Because if you become humble, it's almost like putting yourself below. So I just want to know how we can think about that. I think it's important. I mean, we're not supposed to be dragged down and stomped on or anything like that.
Do you really have to be deeper when you're humble? Why not be equal? You know, there's a plus, there's a minus, but there's also a zero position.
Well, I'm just going by how we were taught. So I want to understand, what does it really mean when you have to be humble?
I have
Can I explain that?
suggestion, or yeah, you go, Asai, please.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was thinking we are equal in value in a way, because we are the manifestation of Creator. So every soul you see is the Creator, but we are different in field strength. And when you go lower, you know, the stronger gives to the weaker in plasma technology. So you receive in a way. So over to you, Asai.
Okay, the way, okay, we have to go back when Jesus was teaching and nobody got it. I came upon a movie from 1947, and Jesus was talking, he was saying, the kingdom of God is within you. Kingdom of heaven is within you. Then he says, don't have anxiety about the food you're going to eat or the clothes on your back, because everything is coming to you. Don't have anxiety for it. And then he got some disciples, and he was walking with them, and they came under this bridge, and they had to sleep. And they went to sleep, and next morning when they woke up, I think it was Judah, said, somebody stole my coat. And he was very upset about it. And Jesus says, take your clothes and give it to him too. And he was looking at Jesus, what he's talking about. And then he says, I'm going to be cold. And Jesus reached out to his cloak and gave it to him. He says, you can take mine. But he didn't take it. But then when I listened to him, and I was thinking, my God, he said everything that we have, I don't know how many years ago, and why the priest, the church, all these things was created, or the kingdom there, they didn't come and show people what he means. Even the people then, they didn't understand why we don't get it. You know, the thing is, we don't get life itself because we're still circulating all the things we created as words, you know, I'm lower, high is the humble, to be upper. We're trying to structure it. But it's not a structure. When you are present, if I'm present now, it's very hard to do, but we have to drop it in once, because if I'm present right now, I'm here. I'm talking to you guys. I'm just be with you. I don't have to think about, okay, am I in a lower or upper or this? I'm just talking. So the next thing it comes, I finish talking and I go want to eat, then I eat. But while I'm eating, I'm not thinking about if 2 hours from now, if this person come, I'm going to talk to him or this and that. Because when we are present, life itself, which is the kingdom of the God, it shows itself to us. But when we constantly doing things now about the past or future, and we actually, I think all of us live constantly in the past and future, but we also have expectation of people, but there shouldn't be any expectation, none. When we let go of all these that we created in our mind with words, because man plays with words, and we play with words, and the mind plays with words, but the words is all false. There is no belief system in kingdom of God. That's why there are so many of us in so many different ways exist. When you look at look at somebody, look at their face, look at their body, look at the physicality, look at the totality of them. What do we see? What do we see? We see someone different from us. But why do we, I'm not talking about even anybody else, even myself, why do we come to say something about them? If, for example, I can tell you many times that I text somebody or I call somebody, they don't respond for like maybe a day or two, and I have all these things in my mind created about the person. But the next thing you know, his cell phone was stolen. And I already had made a story about who this person is, this and that, go back to history, and I created a whole bunch of story in my head and wasted my time and energy on totality of absolutely was all bizarre. While I could spend that time just be and do something. What if it is we want to do? We just do it. But playing with words is the worst thing we can do, because we don't allow the kingdom of God show itself to us. Kingdom of God is be present and just do things that you like to do.
And I'm confused. This is not
because I stopped doing that. I've seen so many people, so many of us. We look at YouTube's, what was this person doing, what's going on in other countries, and what is happening here. And we listen to all these things, what's going to happen in the future. They're going to, Bill Gates is going to do that. And all these things, the same cycle, vicious cycle we're going to drop into. But all we need to do, all of us, just be present. You don't have to think about, am I humble now? Am I not humble now? Just be present and it would flow with you. I mean, it just takes time. It's not getting rid of the attachment is not easy. I know for myself, I go through so much emotional turmoil inside, but every step we go to, when you're present, this emotion comes and it just happens, and I just look at it. But then I think all these stuff take us to the next step, bring us to higher elevation and higher elevation, we can understand it. It's just life itself is so beautiful inside. When that kingdom of God take a peek and comes, the reality of desires and there's the reality of hunger and energy, all these things, it just like a sugar in a water, it melts. Like suddenly you have no desires. You have nothing, that you don't even ask for anything. Just simply a life. And that life itself is not pleasure, is not happiness, it's something above all of it. There's no, you cannot name it. There's no word for it. And then if I want to describe it, it doesn't even, you cannot even describe it, but all of us, we're going through the same thing. But if you want to define it, to me, there's no definition for it. You just have to be it, because it's the first time we're going to experience what Jesus experienced then. When he said to the cripple told him, he says, I'm crippled. And he says, rise and walk. He says, are you mocking me? He says, no.
Yeah, you should have called me though.
You have faith that you can walk, raise and walk. And he got up and he walked.
Yeah.
We're getting to that point of becoming Jesus, the way Jesus was, that we didn't get it that so many years ago. Now we're getting it by just be the life, be just like Jesus. We can make, when we get to that point of touching the kingdom of God inside of us, we can make that arise to like Lazarus. When Lazarus, he brought Lazarus from death to life, because we are the same. Now we're getting it. And step by step, each of us like taking baby steps, and each of us in our own way, but none of us is the same. None of us has to be the same, because that's the beauty of the world. That's the whole beauty of the world. We are not the same. But they have to understand it. Don't copy each other. None of that. And then that's it. That's it. Just be.
Thank you, Azar. Often we put the responsibility, our responsibility, to someone else. Sometimes it's a priest or a rabbi or an imam or whoever. But does that make our lives easier? I think it doesn't. Because deep in our soul, we know what is the truth, what is the right way. And as souls, we have to elevate ourselves to connect and to become together as a group, as one. So that the understanding may be different, but the solution, in my eyes, is for all the same, because we are all equal. And you know, it's written, Mr. Kesh told, that our soul is the mirror image of the soul of the Creator. Now you put the second mirror and you have numbers of images. And I imagine this like what happened, that we are all in the same image, from the same ray, from the same soul. So what we learn, as Mr. Kesh wrote, we should not become arrogant, as you are equal. There should be no arrogance. Because if we do, in fact, we damage ourselves. And I think this understanding is the point where we learn to become ready to connect to our universal community and our universal friends. So yeah, these comments are really, really helping us. A little thing, when I came out of the system with Marie, we were talking about this, the point of giving. You ask yourself, did I give enough? Did, you know, the ego somewhere always tries to catch you up and to wish or to do something for yourself, and it is not right. And when we were in there together, it was such a beautiful balance, and we both gave what we can. And if we do that, then it starts to open up. On the other hand, if we take on this level, I'm talking about the soul level now, to give to others, then there's nothing wrong with taking. But do we take it for ourselves, or do we take it to give to the others? I think is a big difference.
Jacko,
And Jacko, I have a question for you, because you see, have you encountered someone be arrogant? And you say this person is arrogant?
It's not to me to judge.
No. Okay, so you never seen anybody arrogant?
Well, if you look around, some people think they are more than others, and I count that as arrogant.
Okay, I think that we have to come back to the same thing, because what is that perception you have, that you think some people put themselves above others? Where that perception is coming from? How do you know it's correct?
Do I have
because
to?
Because God, have you ever seen God come on the planet Earth say you're arrogant and some people see themselves above the others? No, never did that. So why is it that we see somebody is above the other person? Why is it that we see that? Does it exist?
I think it is important to know that we should not be.
No,
that doesn't judge someone else.
The question is, why we even saying, because when you say, oh, I'm not judging it, but you saying I see it, when you see it is judging it, doesn't matter. Because that's the reflection of you, not the other person. Because when I see somebody is arrogant, but I'm not judging it, is my perception. It doesn't exist.
In the end, you are responsible for yourself and not for the others.
I understand.
It's the only way you can change. You cannot change someone else. You can try, but probably it will not function. What you can change is...
I'm not talking about changing someone. I'm talking about when I say, okay, somebody can see themselves upper or lower or arrogant. Why do I say this? But I say, oh, I'm not judging them. Why do I say that?
Well, I judge when I say that they are wrong. I don't say that they are wrong. If I have an opinion about what I notice, then I don't see that as a judgment.
But you say they exist. You said between us, there are people who see themselves above others, so they exist.
Well, do you say that they don't exist?
To me, it doesn't exist, no.
Then you already reached the equal to the others. That is wonderful.
Because to me, it's our perception. Because to me, if I see something wrong with somebody, I say to myself, there's a reflection there's something in me that needs to see that. So something in me holding to something that created that. So I just pinpoint to the something that was in me, and in time when that goes away, which was inside of me, then I don't see anymore like that, because I don't see any wrongness, because there is no such a thing as wrongness.
It's like a candle in the sun. In the darkness you see the candle, but in the sun you don't see it. It's the same. It's just a perspective that's different. So is yin and yang. It is there always. There will be no way to learn if everything would be perfect, but is the goal where we go to. And I think these commandments help us to understand how we should see and how we should behave to come further on.
The gastroenterologist told him, what did he found out, or she, I'm not sure.
Andreas?
Yes, hello.
Hi.
I wanted to add, I understand Asa and I understand you also totally. What I experienced in the sessions with Mr. Cash in Linz or with the mobile systems, that this judging what Azar is speaking about, or that there is not a question about judging. It's so beautiful and overwhelming that there is no judging anymore. That you don't think about judging anymore. You don't think about others, how they are. You just give unconditional. And that's the step where we are all going to. But on the other side, it's important what you said too, Jaco, for all of us, that we are just aware and we put our attentions to the commandments because we are still not fully on soul level. And this, again and again, looking at the commandments helps us to get closer and closer till all these blockages, I would say, like judging, is not present anymore. And it feels like that every day or every new experience where we go through, this gets loose on weight more and more. We get detached more and more. Thank you.
Andreas, thank you. It's Dean here. Jaco, it's okay. It's okay. Universe Council, if I read this, because I think we did this in the German. We read through it, and sometimes it sort of expands on itself. So if it's okay, I'm going to read this.
Yes,
so
it's okay.
Number 15. So that's significant. So the commandments that were given it was 10. We're now at number 15. So number 15. Thou shalt be equal to others, and do not consider thyself higher or lower than them. So that's the title. Then we've got MK. We've got, and the other one to him was, thou shalt be equal to others, and do not consider thyself higher or lower than them. Which means, when you are equal, there was no leader. There was no kingship. And he could not do, because he now found the power, that he could do what he wanted to do. So, if he would have listened, we'd have seen there will have been no kingship. And we said from the beginning, as we are all equal in soul, our physicality decides the happiness, satisfaction of our soul. And there's an extract, but we'll miss that for now. Okay. Then we go to MK again. Do not become arrogant, as you are equal. As you are equal. Then there is no kingship. As men, you're all equal. You are all kings. The king of your own physicality and of your own soul, and no one else. Then you understand, when you are equal, and you are no king to no one, there is no need for armies and no need for killing. And I think when we read those words, they have a very distinct field strength and a deeper understanding. You can go back and you can read any part of it, and then you can open up the words any part of it you'd like to go to. Let's take the as you are equal. So if we're all equal, we're all part of the same. So each and every one of us has something to contribute to the whole of creation. Some of us have a understanding, and we like to come forward and project our words to actually to bring the knowledge forward. And others of us like to sit in the background and be still and quiet. However, as we're all equal, we're all adding and we're all contributing to each other. We are equal, and you are equal. Then, is that now or then? Then there is no kingship. As men, you're all equal. And obviously we speak about men all the time. We all know that men is a metaphor for us, humanity. In reality, women, the male, the female aspect of everything, the totality of everything is all the same. So we're all equal. There is no difference. Then you are all kings. So when one king proclaims himself a king above others, they take a position where they are responsible for all the others. When each and every single one of us are equal, we are all kings and we all look after each other. And then this king is responsible for the totality of all that is present in the moment. And that is each and every one of us. We are all equal. The king of your own physicality. Your physicality. You're the king of your physicality. So where does your soul sit? Does it sit in judgment of your physicality? No, it doesn't. Because the soul is not arrogant, as you are all equal. Of your own soul and no one else. Then you understand. When you are equal as a king, and you are no king to no one. There is no need for armies. And there is no need for killing. There is no need for armies. And there is no need for killing.
And gives peace on earth.
Thank you, Jacko.
Thank you, Dean. Maybe a little command Mr. Cash made in the private teachings. He said the commandments mainly was given to Moses to correct him, that by him correcting himself, he will find correct conduct. So this is a guideline we can use to work on our own. Anyone else?
I can add this to, you see, when we say you're going to be here helping each other, this is now, but the next level will, when we have the kingdom of God within us, is we don't need each other. Go back, we have to go back to weak magnet. If you have 10 magnets on the floor, which is us, and Mr. Kai said one time, if one of you, only one soul can pull everybody. What does it mean? It means one of the magnet, it becomes in a way, in totality, that doesn't see we are here for each other. I have to give you, I have to do the right thing, or I have to be humble. For example, these are, we know, if I enter a room full of people, how do I enter? With a mind that says, oh, when I go in there, I'm going to look at everybody equal, because I'm making it up. I just go in there. I don't have to think about it, put the instruction for myself that I have to look at everybody equal, because when I do that, it means I already divided. That notion of I have to give to people, we're here to help each other, that notion is the notion that people got wrong when Jesus gave the instruction. Because we're going to create the same division again. When we, in totality, don't think anymore about, am I looking at this, am I humble, or if God touched me by his mercy, or if I'm talking correctly, or if I put myself in a position of, I have to do this. There is no have anymore. It is only essence of life that you do what is necessary. And that by itself, it makes one of the magnets that is one of us in a complete, like as if God himself has come, because we are the kingdom of God. And that person, or many of us, if we change in that way, is going to change the position. All the magnets of this planet, everything is going to go up in one go. But as long as it's still we're trying to fit things in a duality way, and now they start to live the life, it shows up in front of us, the thing shows up and you just do it. Things shows up, you just do it. Things shows up, you just do it. And we try to work out of responsibility of this and that, then it's not going to work. I mean, this is the way I see it.
Thank you.
And that's what we heard in the formation of the Universal Council. Try to be humble, not to become arrogant in the knowledge you understand and you possess. Otherwise, you'll fall in the same path as the church and the mosque. We've heard Mr. Kesh. We know he's a universal messenger. He carries the knowledge of universes, not just this universe. He carries the knowledge of universes with him. But I've heard him say on more than one occasion, when he comes into the meeting, he puts himself lower than everyone else in the meeting. And I think that's good advice for all of us to replicate. And we know the whole purpose of the creation is servitude, no matter which way you look at it. So by being humble, I think it gives you more of a impetus to serve the others. And this is the example Mr. Kesh has laid down for us.
I always say learning, then comes understanding, then comes making it yourself, becoming, and then you start to live it. And I think what you say, Azar, is all these steps. And in the end, when we are living it, we don't need anything anymore. We are the sugar in the water. So everyone has the right to do the steps, to learn, to understand, to become, and then to live it. And for me, this is the beauty of the technology, the beauty of the knowledge.
Don't forget about comprehension. When you really comprehend the meaning of what you're saying or thinking, it's a big jump.
It is. And before you can start living it, you have to comprehend.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to make it your own. You have to become, and then you can live it. And then there's no difference.
I see Mr. Kesh has joined us in a panelist. He has a panelist. He said he would be in. I don't know his time constraints, but perhaps someone should ask if he'd like to open his mic. I was thinking,
Welcome.
Shweta, you were going to read the message that Mr. Kesh posted a couple days ago on 12/17 that he put in the telegrams, but we leave it up to the Universal Council how we'd like to proceed here.
Thank you, my dear Mark. Thank you. If my Messiah Shriman M.T. Kesh is here, then we welcome him.
Mark, can you go to the next slide?
Okay.
Are you able to see it?
Yes,
good evening.
Thank you.
Can I come
Hello,
in?
Mr. Kesh.
Hi, good afternoon, good evening. I've listened to your conversations in past half an hour or so. What we got to realize, and the best example of it will show on Thursday, that you're all equal. There is no difference amongst you or amongst the whole creation. We, as I said in another teaching this week, we have recorded the encounter of the soul of the man with the Creator.